So let's try this one more time with the on button on. So welcome back. Hey, shot some videos the other day of the 52 and the 50 sitting in the first bay here at the shop. I was going to leave them there, but done some changes. Excuse me. And so I moved them out into the big shop, which I have a 60 by 60 roughly, maybe might be 60 feet deep, 62 feet wide. Out behind, you've probably seen it in the video. So there's some room in there. I don't need all that room in there for equipment this year. Since I scaled back a little bit. So let's talk briefly about the 95 Ford. So this truck I bought with the intentions of putting, and I have a bee in here. Not anymore. Just a little hornet. So I bought this with the intention of using the frame and the running gear on the 76 Ford. Well, things change, and it changed when I went and bought this truck. So I went back and forth with the guy, text messaging, and I said, how's the frame? And he said, good. And I said, it's a 95. He said, yes. He said, but the frame's really good and the truck's in pretty good shape, just got a bad motor. So he shot me some pictures of the frame, and man, the frame looked really good. It did. So we took a ride out, loaded up the trailer and took off, went out about 90 miles from my house. And we got there and I looked at the truck and I thought, yeah, that frame is good. Had some nice Goodyears on it. Had a brand new fuel tank sending unit in the back. New brakes on the front. There was some problems. It was pissing water out everywhere. Just everywhere. Antifreeze and water. They had kept putting water in it to move it around. He had it to apparently a mechanic, and they told him the motor was bad. It had a cracked head or a cracked block. And some of the other videos I've done on this truck, you can see how I fixed that. It was a time and chain cover, gasket between the engine block and the time and chain cover. When they pulled the water pump off to replace the water pump, because that's what the mechanic thought it was, they broke one of the bolts that holds the, it's kind of like a long stud with another bolt on the end of it, a threaded bolt, and then a shanked end, and then another different type of thread for the accessories. Well, they broke it off inside the block. So when I pulled it apart, obviously you could see that it was bad. And there was quite a bit of wear from the timing chain on the timing chain cover. So I got a Dorman timing chain cover, new timing chain, new water pump gaskets, and I drilled out that bolt, the threads, and I just put my, be honest with you, it wasn't even in there very hard. I'm not sure why it broke off. I put some penetrating oil to it for a couple nights, then I came up and I put the, I was going to drill it. I thought I'll use the left-hand drills, and I started drilling into it, and it drilled right out, came right out on its own threads. So it wasn't that big a deal. So I put that all back together. Doesn't leak water. Motor runs awesome. Doesn't smoke. A lot of new parts on the motor from what I see. They threw some money at this off and on in an attempt to keep it up. It's had recent ball joints. It has front rotors and new front brakes. The calipers they look like they've been there for a while, but they seem to function. It stops good. And they had this swept side. Let's see if I get my finger in here. Where are we? Right here. They had these two pipes coming out the side. Oop, right over here. Sorry, right here. And like it was loud. I don't mind loud, but I like loud that's not loud. If you know what I mean. Like the rat rod sound? Yeah, like that. Model A sound? Like that. the 66, which is sitting in the bay right next to us now, in this bay behind this wall, behind the Ford signs. Yeah, I don't mind that noise, but, so I'm changing it over. So I'm gonna use a combination of those pipes right there. There's, the pipe coming off the motor is, from the backside of the last catalytic converter is 2 3/4 inside. So I have a coupler that'll go over it, and then I'm gonna weld that on. And then I will go from a 2 3/4 to a 2 3/4 outside. And that'll allow me to use a 2 1/2 outside, inside, and I'm gonna weld them down. I do that a lot. So instead of buying couplers that kind of rust out like that one right there on the hoist, they're good little couplers, but they're very thin, they don't last. So I'm gonna keep bringing it down, and then I cut these pipes up. They were pretty long, use the Sawzall, cut them up. So I will use the taller one on that. That'll get me back to just 30 inches, somewhere in there, to the tailpipe. Now the tailpipe, what I'm using is off a 97 Ford F350 with a Power Stroke, 2 3/4 inch tailpipe. So I will put a thrush on it or something. They make a thrush that looks like a cherry bomb. Or I think I still have a Smitty's muffler left. I gotta check the size on it. I think it's smaller than the 2 3/4, so I think it's more like 2 inch. So I don't know, I'll put something on there, and then I'm gonna run the big tailpipe, and then we will paint the back. Now, I'm a little long-winded already. We're at 6 minutes. That's a little bit longer than I like to run. So, well, stay with me. I'll get there eventually. So, pressure washed the frame. Wire brushed it. Rusty shocks are coming off tomorrow. The shocks will be here, the new shocks. They will match the ones that are now on the front. And so that's all painted inside, outside the frame, the rear end, everything up to the dry shaft. When I put it back up on the hoist, I'll do the front half, pull the wheels and do the front half. I need to wire brush the front half. I did pressure wash it. All the scale came off it. The big pressure washer in the corner there with the straight tip, the one that real fine tip, it'll take scale off as good as anything. Now, I just painted this, so it's pretty wet. So the box, I'm gonna paint the back again, get rid of that color. I've got to clean up the rust, kill it on the inside of the doors. This is the only rust on the cab, both sides. There's no holes, just surface rust, so I'll clean that up. And I'm gonna shoot the bottom of the doors again, clean them up, kill them with rust in the seams where they like to rot in those Fords. And they will clean that up and paint that also, and seam seal it again so it won't rust as quickly. Now this truck obviously has had rust treatment at one time, probably when it was new. This is a Eddie Bauer edition. I don't know if you can read it on the dash. Let me get in here. Let me get it set. Maybe that'll be my thumbnail. Eddie Bauer. So this will be the new shop truck. I kind of had to get going on this because we've been working on some of the snowplowing equipment and getting those things ready, getting the shop straightened back up again. I started cleaning. I know I'm not done yet. Not finished, but yeah, so the back half of the frame is all done. So I put it in the air and painted the bottom and everything. So don't look at my jack extensions. Let's see. What the hell? So yeah, so that's all I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna make an exhaust out of odds and ends of what I have laying around, the welder, and pieces from their exhaust. So I like making stuff with what I have. I did splurge for the tailpipe. It was 39 bucks. Stickers will come out of the back window. I have a nice sun visor, but it's not lighted. This truck does not have cab lights, and I don't want to get into ripping in the roof on this one. So I just ordered a visor that has the lights in it, and I will paint it and put that on also. Of course, I got to go back through and take all this rubber off from the window guards. I have new ones to put on it. And I have a new bug guard to put on it. This is the, what I just ran into. This is the back piece that was on the other box. I am going to try to put it on this box because this tailgate, actually that's the piece that goes on the tailgate on said box, but this tailgate's okay, but it's got a few little bumps and bruises in it. It was all I could find. Yeah, maybe I won't. I'll paint it first and see what it looks like. But if not, I will put this on, or if I don't use it, it will become another wall hanger here in this shop. Wish you could have seen this. I took the pressure washer inside the truck today. Yep, I did. And soaked down the carpets and sprayed everything off the inside. I got the doors open. I had the fan in there all day blowing on it, but it's supposed to be 70 degrees. After we've had all these 45 and 50 degree days, we're gonna have some 70 degree days, so I'll be putting it outside with the windows down and the doors open and the battery unhooked so it doesn't kill the battery. So that's where I am. Next stop. I got a dent here I can't get rid of. It's just behind the seam. I don't really want to put that much body fill in it. So I have a stud gun, and I got to pick a new slide hammer up. So I'm going to weld some studs on there, and then I'm going to try to give it one pull, because that's basically the only dent in the whole box. And there's no rust on this. So this will be painted the white. It is, I can't remember, some people call it performance white. It is actually, I don't know if I have a can of it left in here. I threw them all out. Yeah, it's a Ford color, but it's basically like the performance white. So yeah, that is undercoating on the back of the truck. So I will try to get some of it off. If I can't, I'm gonna wipe it down. It's not gonna be seen. Do that, plus the stickers come out. So yeah, let's just take a peek over here. And there's a 66 in here. So, I think I found a home for the welder. I sold my other welder on Saturday, and the guy came, picked it up from a couple hours away. And I believe this one is going to a local farm that needs to have a bigger welder for some jobs they got to do this winter. So, good deal. Glad to help farmer out. And we'll move it on to somebody who needs it. So the 66 in here, I still got to check the radiator. This is the cold side of my garage. This will stay about 40 degrees in here, but it's still cold. But I want the radiator checked and all that kind of stuff before I go any farther. And here we are at 13 minutes. So I'm going to cut this off now. It's kind of a long video for me, and I know I lose people very quickly after about 3-4 minutes. So if you stayed for the whole thing, thank you very much. If you didn't and you just slipped through it, you got me rambling. So thanks to the subscribers. I'm getting close to that 400 mark. I would love to get 400 in a week or so, and I'd like to love to be around 500 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you like what I'm doing, hit that subscribe button and the notifications so you can see what we're doing here. Other projects coming back. I'll be doing some more work on the 1948 F350. It's an F1 on an F350 frame that has a Cummins in it. I did a bunch of videos on that where I put the motor transmission in, made the mounts, and it's been down at my son's buddy's, and he's doing a bunch of work to it. I was kind of tied up in the last couple years with some stuff that was going on in the family, so he's been helping out, doing some stuff on that. That's coming back, and Jordan and I will be doing a bunch of work on that this winter, getting the box back in place, getting it wired, and getting it so he can use it as his daily driver in the summer. Other projects going on is the Willys, 51. Man, I'm at almost 15 minutes, sorry. Hey, I'm gonna cut this off now. I'll come back in a few minutes and bring another video and we'll finish up.